amber alert notification saying, "Do not look at the moon," but thousands of people were texting me, "Look at the moon. It's beautiful outside." I woke up at 3 a.m. to an amber alert notification on my phone. Struggling to find my phone, I turned on the lamp on my nightstand and found it on the floor. The amber alert notification said, "Do not look at the moon. Please fall asleep and refrain from looking outside." I was a little freaked out by this. What could possibly be wrong with looking at the moon? I became even more confused when I discovered I had thousands of other notifications. My eyes grew wider, and I awakened more. I unlocked my phone to find WhatsApp, with a little red circle above it saying 99 plus. All of my social media apps had over 100 notifications. One of the notifications had said, "Look at the moon, it's beautiful outside." It must have been someone who had gotten the notification and wanted to creep someone out. That's when I noticed another notification that said, "Look at the moon, it's beautiful outside." That's weird. Another person said the same thing. I scrolled through all the notifications. To my surprise, they all said the same thing. "Look at the moon, it's beautiful outside." I was freaked out. I wanted to look outside out of curiosity, but I was so creeped out I didn't. Maybe my phone was hacked. I decided to text my friend to see if he was in the same scenario I was in. However, when I opened up his DMs, all the previous messages were gone, and there was only one thing on screen. "Look at the moon, it's beautiful outside." I was bewildered. I had to be hacked, right? I texted him anyway. "Dude, what's going on? Did you get that Amber Alert notification too?" About a minute later, he texted back, "Look at the moon, it's beautiful outside." That made me feel less like my phone was hacked. The Amber Alert had told me to just fall back asleep, and so I did. Well, I didn't, but I tried to. I felt haunted by those notifications. I just couldn't sleep. Finally, I got another notification. "It's the moon thing, isn't it?" I mumbled under my breath. When I opened my phone, I was surprised to see a notification from my other friend. We'll call him Dave. He texted me, "Hey dude, you up? I got a weird Amber Alert notification, and thousands of people are texting me." My eyes grew and I quickly sat up to text him back. "Yeah, you getting the moon thing too?" I texted quickly. He responded with, "Yeah, I haven't looked at the moon. Have you?" I replied, "No, I don't want to. I'm curious though." He replied, "Don't look at it. I don't know what could happen, but it's certainly a bad thing." I decided to turn on my lights and close the curtains just in case. "You know I'm a curious guy," I texted. "I feel like I have to." He kept telling me, "Don't look at it. It could be bad." He knows that I'm a curious guy. I'm also a risky person. He's also really non-serious. He always dared me to due to these risks and sees me as a daredevil, which is what I see myself as too. However, this time, he isn't. That's how you know he's dead serious. What could possibly happen if I looked at it? Is it so bright it'll blind my eyes? There's no light out there, I texted. "This time I'm serious," he replied. I couldn't take it. My curiosity was beaming. I turned off the phone. I set it down. I walked to the window, opened the blinds, opened the window, and peeked my head out, looking up. The moon was beautiful, a pretty blue and yellow color. Made it glow. It was almost rainbow. The moon was bigger and brighter than usual. It was the most beautiful thing I've seen in my life. My phone kept pinging. I walked to it with a huge grin and unfocused eyes. It was Dave saying, "Dude, why aren't you responding? Did you look at the moon?" I responded, texting him back using nothing but my index finger, key by key. I said, "Look at the moon. It's beautiful outside." I booked a cabin in the mountains. The previous guest left a strange entry in the guest book. I moved to Seattle from Kansas about 5 years ago. I'm one of those tech bros. All you locals are always complaining, "Oh, have ruined your city." Well, I guess it's my city now. Sorry about you. One of my favorite things about the Pacific Northwest is the mountains. I try to get away from the city as often as I can. So when I found this cabin on the Skycomish River, I decided I would treat myself to a midweek getaway in the early fall. I arrived this morning. The cabin was very cozy, tucked away among the trees next to the riverbanks. There was a hot tub on the back deck, and Wi-Fi for us tech bros who only like the facade of roughing it. I put my bags on the bed and decided I'd explore inside before I explored out. There was an extensive DVD collection, but mostly romantic comedies and family movies. Magazines from 5 years ago littered the coffee tables. In a little nook in the bedroom, I found a basket containing a few notebooks and local travel guides. The notebooks were, according to the labels, for guest notes. I smirked and laid down with the most recent one. I'd probably get a kick out of this. It was mostly what I expected. People talking about their kids and their dogs and how much they loved the hot tub and the river. Pretty boring. I flipped through the book until I got to the most recent entries. It looked like the last guests had written a few pages. October 10th, 2020, 10 p.m. The noises started around 8:30 tonight. At first, we thought it was just the rain. We never should have read that book we found in the woods. My eyes widened, and I looked more closely at the page. This was a little bit more interesting than the white bread entries before. Well, maybe read is the wrong word. There wasn't enough in any language we understood to actually read. It was nothing but weird symbols and grotesque drawings, except on the very last page, which read in English. When darkness overtakes the day, that's when old Goo Goo likes to play teeth so sharp, eyes so red. Once you see him, you're good as dead. Okay, pretty weird, but whatever. These noises, though. We thought it was dripping rain, but it isn't the right cadence. It sounds more like licking, and every so often there's a crunching sound. Maybe it's just our imaginations. We aren't used to the forest after all. It's so dark and quiet, so every sight or sound seems magnified. As I was closing the curtains in the bedroom, it looked like something was standing at the riverbank. Something vaguely human, but with large horns and big wings folded behind it. My husband says it was a tree. When I looked back, it was gone. Time for bed now. I hope I can sleep. The noises haven't stopped. I chuckled. Clearly, someone was getting into the Halloween spirit and having some fun with it. Still, I looked up and through the window in the bedroom at the raging river beyond, and I felt a little uneasy. The sun was starting to set, and the big picture windows did give the impression that someone or something could be watching from the woods. I got up and closed the curtains before continuing to read, just to ease my mind. October 11th, 20:27:45 a.m. The bed in this cabin is wonderfully comfortable. My husband slept like a rock. I, however, kept dreaming about a horned creature standing at the corner of the bedroom, staring at me. My husband said it was just a dream, but when I got up this morning, all of the curtains were opened. My husband says he didn't touch them, and I must have left them open last night, but I know I didn't. At least the noises have stopped. We plan to enjoy the hot tub and relax today. October 11th, 2022, at 10 p.m. We spent the last hour in the hot tub. Very nice. But I kept seeing something darting among the trees. Even back inside, I feel like I'm being watched. My husband thinks I'm going crazy. Maybe I am. Yeah, I think you probably are. Maybe drink some beer and chill out. On this page, it started out with the same neat, tight writing as the entry before, but as the page went on, the writing became larger and more erratic, slanting across the page. The last entry on the page was the most haphazard looking. October 11th, 20:28 p.m. The noises are back, but now there's chanting too. My husband says it's the neighbors, but it isn't a language we know. I see glowing red lights in the woods. I'm afraid to close my eyes. My husband says I'm overreacting. I don't think I can trust him anymore. Chanting? Now I was really sure this was a joke. However, I strained my own ears in the quiet of the cabin and listened. The sun had definitely gone down now, but it was still raining. I could hear the dripping outside. Maybe if you were losing your mind, it did sound a little bit like licking. I admit that I gasped when I turned the page, even if it was all a joke. The next pages were barely legible, scribbles and symbols and nonsense. I will try to write it the best way I can for you. October 12th, 2028, 8 a.m. I'm supposed to go home this morning. I can't believe I stayed in the woods all by myself all weekend. All of this alone time made me a little paranoid. I'm packing the book I found. It is still wet for some reason, like it has been in the rain all weekend. On second thought, I don't think I will leave. I want to stay here forever. I want to become one with old goo goo tilde, 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 tilde. The bottom third of that page was just odd symbols that I had never seen before. The next, and final page, was simply goo goo, written over and over again, covering the entire page. I rolled my eyes and closed the guest book. Very funny people. I got up and tossed it back into the basket with the other books, then rifled through them to see if there was anything good that I missed. Maybe something better than this fake monster story. Behind the travel guides was a small leather book that I hadn't noticed before. Curious, I picked it up. It was strangely wet, like it had been in the rain all weekend. Emergency alert, do not look outside your windows. Emergency alert, warning, this is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Citizens of the world, lock all doors. Close all of your blinds. Do not go near any windows. Do not look outside. Do not leave your house. Stay in a room with no windows. Gather what supplies you can. Turn all of the lights off. Do not open the door for anything. When I first heard it, it didn't even sound real. It sounded fake, like something in a horror movie. But it was an emergency. So I decided I probably should do what they tell me. I grabbed a flashlight, pillow, my phone, charger, food, and basic other stuff to keep me entertained. While this stuff happened, I had no idea what was going on. But once I got into my bathroom and got comfy, I texted my parents asking them if they got the alert. They also did. They said citizens of the world. Did they actually broadcast that to world? I asked myself. So I texted an internet friend that lives across the world, and they said they got it too. Same exact message. And to be honest, it's kind of scary. They tell you what to do, but not what's going on. And people are scared of that. 20 minutes later, emergency alert. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Unknown creatures have been knocking on people's doors and been killing people that open the door. There's 5 major hotspots: Washington, D.C., Tokyo, Toronto, Moscow, and London. They've been located all around, but it seems as if they are attacking those first. This is an invasion. Stay in your rooms. Do not open any doors. Do not look outside. They can kill you instantly with just a look. May God help us all. Emergency nuke sirens are going off. Tornado sirens are going off. What is going on? Is this a prank? How can an invasion be real? Are aliens real? How can I even comprehend that? I had car alarms going off. I hear things being destroyed. They are here. They are killing. It sounds like a war zone out there, but without any guns. What can the government do? Just shoot them? But they would die looking at them. There's no possible way we could ever survive this. We are going to die. I text my parents, but no answer. I text my brother and sister, no answer. I start to panic now. What if my family is gone, and all I can do is listen to other people's families get murdered? The nuke sirens have started again, and they are very loud, shaking my whole apartment. I wonder what the other people in my building are thinking. Probably like me. This is it. This is the end of the world. Everyone on this planet will die. I hear a knock on my door. I don't answer it. I hear someone screaming for me to open it. I mean, it sounded human. Should I open it? No. That would be stupid. Emergency alert. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The extraterrestrial are attacking every major city in the world. There is a lot of them. We have not found out what they want. Stay inside. Millions, if not billions, are dead. Stay inside. It's as if the government have given up now. There's no way to fight, and these messages are less helpful each time they come on. If billions are dying, then I don't know how we can survive this. I mean, I have so far. But it doesn't sound like for long. I hear buildings being destroyed. I hear cars being destroyed. My building has been hit a few times. I'm hearing my world crumble before me. At this point, there's no reason to hope anymore. There's so many dying and there's so much chaos. They will get everyone. I would love to know what one of these things looks like. But if I see them, I die. I hope someone takes a picture, and if we do survive, I want to see it. I want to see what's killing us. But the end is nowhere near, and I don't even know how many people we have left. Should I just kill myself? Maybe I should die before they get me. I don't want to die by those things. Plus, what if I do survive and get survivor's guilt? Then there's no way Emergency alert. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The extraterrestrial have left, and left billions of people dead. If you're alive, please tap the button on your phone now. If on a radio, tune to 104 and state your name and city. We will update you in 20 minutes. There's no way I would want to live. That's what I was going to say. And yet, somehow I'm actually alive. Do I want to die now? Well, no. But how many people are alive? What did these things want? Why did they attack us? There's too many questions to even ask right now. At this point, all we can do is try to figure out some numbers and restart society. How can a world like ours recover from something like this? How long until society is normal again? Will humanity ever be the same? I don't know. What I do know is that I could have lost everything. I will text my friends and family and come back with some numbers. Emergency alert. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. We have reported a little over 1 billion people accounted for. Not every country has the technology, so we will investigate those countries in the coming months. We do not understand what these creatures wanted, nor what they have taken. In the next month or two, we will be figuring out the next steps for humanity. May God help us all. Only 3 people I know survived: my sister, my uncle, and my best friend. Everyone else is dead. I want to kill myself. But at the same time, humanity needs me. We need each other to continue human life. Only time will tell what to do next, if there is anything next. Run. And if you can't run, then walk. And if you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, don't stop. It's only been an hour since everyone on Earth, as far as I could tell, heard those same words. I was already walking through the park when I heard them, and after seeing what happens, I won't be stopping anytime soon. It's been 2 hours now. I've kept walking. I'm tired, but stopping is not an option. Some people try driving, but the act of getting in a car requires stopping, even for the briefest moment. And as those already driving, when they heard the rules, soon found out, it's impossible to move indefinitely in a vehicle, especially in a crowded city. Their screams kept me moving. It's been 4 hours now, and I'm exhausted, with the only thing pushing me forward being the fear of what awaits when I stop. And yes, I mean when, proven by plenty of those around me, eventually I'll have to stop. Some have just given up, accepting their fate only to immediately regret the decision. Some just couldn't take the screams anymore, and most simply don't see the point of continuing. And with every step, I'm starting to become more like the latter. It's been about 6 hours, and for the first time, I saw what happens up close. I was walking aimlessly down an alley, trying to get away from the madness, when I saw a young man no more than 16 crying. It didn't even register at first to me until he made eye contact with me. He had stopped moving. His eyes were bloodshot, and not just whites around his pupils. I mean, the entirety of his eyes were crimson red. Black tears streamed down his expressionless face, and then he smiled. A wide, toothy smile that would have screamed of joy if it wasn't followed by animalistic screams that would give the biggest horror fanatic nightmares. I wish I could say witnessing his dying moments was the most horrific thing to happen to me today. But then it hit me, the realization that I had stopped moving.